Stand by. Well, welcome back to Rustenburg, where we continue our at least our broadcast for the second anniversary celebrations of the economic freedom fighters. It's early morning. The first rays of the sun are just beginning to make their way over the mountain. We're here where the official program of the EFF will start at around 12 o'clock this afternoon, with the President, Julius Malema, expected to deliver his main address at around 1:30. But for the time being, we are joined by the Deputy Secretary General of the EFF, Hlengiwe Hlophe, to talk to us a little bit about the last 2 years that the party has been in existence. Ma'am, good morning and thanks for joining us.
Good morning to you and good morning to the listeners at home.
All right. Ma'am, congratulations firstly. 2 years. Have these last 2 years exceeded your expectations as the leadership of the EFF?
Well, what we can say is that we are very happy by the support that we are given by our people. As you remember very well, when we do the clarion call on the 26th of July, we took a decision that we must go all out and mobilize our people to fight this corrupt government. And we are very pleased today to see the support that we are given by our people on the ground.
So 2 years, you're saying that you're pleased. How have you been able to build from that first day to where you are today?
Well, we have been on the ground since the day one when we announced that we are launching the EFF. So we didn't waste time. We went all out to communities. We went to villages, ward by ward. We spoke to our people. We launched branches. We launched regions. We launched the provinces. We have structures on the ground. And on a daily basis, we are recruiting for the EFF to grow up.
You contested elections, general elections, just 9 months after. I think to a large extent you exceeded people's expectations of what the party was going to do. You now hold 25 of the 400 seats in parliament. We've seen the EFF bring a different energy to parliament. What would you describe that energy to?
No, we must also understand that as EFF, we are taking a mandate from our people on the ground. Our structures are the one who are telling us what issues we must raise in Parliament. So what is seeing in Parliament now is just a mandate from the people, just because there was no voice before. All people in Parliament were sleeping, including the ANC and the opposition parties. And the mandate from our people was that we must go and radicalize that Parliament. And that's what we are doing now in Parliament, and we are going to do that one.
Let's just quickly stay with Parliament, and we talk about this week the National Speaker of the National Assembly, Baleka Mbete, announced that new rules are coming for Parliament, for the National Assembly. Just your take on that, if you'd like to respond.
We have been very clear from the day one when we have been in that rules committee. We told Baleka that the problem is not with the EFF. The problem is with her, because she is not neutral as the Speaker of the Parliament, and all other chairpersons of the National Assembly, they are not neutral. The fact that the EFF is there in Parliament, they hate that. So it's not the rule. We told them that they must not use the rules, because even the apartheid failed to do that during their time. The solution here is the political solution. But we want to tell you that you are not going to change anything. Even if they can call police to bulldozers, to do whatever, because as I'm saying that we are carrying the mandate from our people that we must forge ahead with the radical in Parliament.
All right. And then let's talk about your day-to-day role within the EFF. What does that entail?
No, I'm the part of the SGO, which means I'm the Secretary General. I'm working with the Secretary General of EFF because I'm his deputy. So we basically what you are doing as the Secretary, as the SGO of the EFF, is to maintain, and you have to make sure that the organization is growing on daily basis, and you have to make sure that everything in the office of the Secretary is well.
Okay. Today, the EFF is marking 2 years. There's likely to be hundreds, thousands of supporters here. What is it that, as the leadership of the party, that you want them to take away from today going forward?
We want them to go and weed wards, because we are approaching 2016 local government elections. We want them to go to tell people that time for ANC is over. Time for abject poverty is over. Time for corruption is over. Time for Jacob Zuma is over. Time for Baleka Mbete in the parliament is over. Time for EFF is now. We want to go to all out to bring back those hope because our people are very hopeless now after the ANC have played with them so long. So now we want to take over our municipalities back. We want to take over power.
What do you do with that power once you have it? It's one thing to want power, but what do you do with it once you have it? How do you do things differently to what is currently in place?
Our struggle is an economic struggle. We have been saying ANC have won politically, but in terms of the economy, we are still suffering as poor people. So as we have been saying, we have 7 cardinal pillars. So we don't have land. Once we take over, we are going to expropriate that land without compensation for equal distribution. Remember that without land, there is nothing. Without water, you have nothing. Without electricity, you have nothing. So once we take up power, we are going to take back our economy back to the people.
All right. Ma'am, unfortunately, that's all the time we have for. Thank you very much for joining us. That was the Deputy Secretary General of the EFF, Hlengiwe Hlophe, talking to us a little bit about the last 2 years of the party and going forward as they head towards the 2016 local government elections. Well, we'll continue our broadcast of the second anniversary celebrations of the EFF throughout the morning and throughout the day. But for the time being, it's back to you in